Did you add OVL? Is that the ETF OVL?
Yes, that's the one. There we go. And that thing been moving, bro. That thing I got. What was it? I think I got like a 54 average cost. So yeah, it's been doing its thing. It's been doing its thing.
And that's the one. That's one of the ones I'm going to talk about. I'm going to go to Mr. Mac. Mr. Mac, man, I'm sorry I skipped over you, and I can't believe that. Mr. Mac, what's going on with you, sir? How you doing?
It's all right. I just call out a favor, John. Um, I'm good. I'm good. Walking the dog, just listening in. I hope Digital bought Joby when it was down below 7. 'Cause if he did, he'll be a rich man.
Man, I didn't, dog. I didn't, man. My bad, man. I let you down, brother.
No, I'm good. I'm kind of bummed. I did some Thursday options, covered calls. Um, One of them's on Archer for earnings Monday. I'm banking it goes down like normal. If not, they can have the shares. Um, but I did lose my Ondas shares, ONDS, which sucks. I still made money because I finished at 911 and I sold a covered call at 9 and I think I got a $24 premium. So I still made money. And I'll probably have to buy them back at some point. But this week, I don't know. I'm not doing much. Just gonna keep my dividends from blocks. I think I'm averaging about $45 a week now, which is pretty good. Um, I get to be home this week, so hopefully I'll be able to catch your spaces, John. And otherwise, it's just good to see everybody.
That's fantastic. How about your thoughts? By the way, this week with the smaller stocks, it was just wild. My red wire got called away, and I didn't think how I had it set that they would get called, but they did. They went up 28% in a week. That's not normal. All the small caps just went nuts. So I was there with you, but I'm fine. I'm fine. That's how I plan stuff anyway. But how about our SpaceX up 20%? What's up with that, Mr. Mac? Did you buy any SpaceX or what?
No, I'm still gonna wait. It still gets to 75, 80. People think I'm crazy, but it's still gonna get there. It's all right. It's new. Um, I think long term it's great. Um, but I don't know. There's just other things that I think have a shorter runway that I need to gather. Like some more blocks. I've been buying some more QQQI. Fuck, I'm always buying. Sorry for the language. I'm always buying Joby. I can't get enough Joby. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I probably should have around. I think it got to like 108. SpaceX did. I almost did it, and I had a set buy order at like 99.99, but just never got there. So, play the long game. I think everybody that holds it now is in good shape. But I do think that some of the more insiders are going to start to release and sell their shares. I mean, shit, I would if I was a janitor or welder at SpaceX and could lock in my millions. I'd take my profits at some point.
I don't know. I think they're going to wait for a while because they want to become multi-millionaires, is what I'm thinking. Because I was the same way as you. I was looking at 108. I was like, I need to go ahead and buy some shares right here. And I wish I would have, but I didn't. Then I got sidetracked with futures, and I didn't feel really good this week. But I wish I would have bought a few more shares when it was lower because I know we were going over everything with the numbers and everything they're doing earlier. But I'm telling you, it's a once in a
Yeah,
generation company, Mister Mac. Not financial advice.
yeah. No, I agree. But I mean, for $108, I could get 13 shares of Joby at the same time. So I did that. Um, and at some point, I'll have to start re-diversifying away from Joby. I think I'm pushing like 49% of my portfolio in Joby now. Um, but not to like preach it. I know I talk about it all the time. It's just my baby, right? Um, if anybody listened to the earnings call last week, If you didn't know, John, since you're in Texas, they should start non-customer paying service out of Dallas Fort Worth in September. So I'll send you a picture of what it looks like. Maybe they'll fly over East Texas and you'll see them. Um, and they just signed some agreements for some expansion. So at $7 to $8, I thought that was better use of my money. And I think I'll still have more bites at the apple at SpaceX, honestly.
No, that's cool. That is great news to hear Joby doing that here in Texas. Very cool. Very cool. I see. I see Digital's got his hand up. And Loco, by the way, Loco, I knew that was Loco's so funny. He chimes in, "Hey, bro, that's not really low. That's not really Miss Digital." I was like, "Bro, who you think you're talking to? Come on, Digital, go ahead, bro."
Hey, that was great, dog. That was great, man. But I wanted to chime in on the see, like I agree that SpaceX definitely going to go lower. You know what I'm saying? But like one thing I've like with me personally, like the whole like specific price targets before I pulled the trigger is always like backfired on me. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when I try to like, oh well, I'm gonna wait for it to hit this price, ends up turning around and soaring and doing the complete opposite, and then I just miss all these entries I could have got in. So like with SpaceX, I'm like you, John. Like I have long term vision with that one. I'm a space guy, space host, space looker upper. But yeah, man. Any dip, I'm pretty much grabbing something. You know what I'm saying? And hey, man, Mr. Mac. I don't think anybody has as strong as conviction with any stock or investment as you do for Joby, bro. And you know what? I give you props, dog. I give you mad props. He's locked in, man. And
When
Ben,
when it hits 35, I'm not going to say that I'll disappear from the world, but there will be signs. I'll tell you that. So that tells you how much I hold. Um, but yeah, no, SpaceX is good. I'd love to get it. My issue, if I'm totally honest, which I normally am, is to buy more Joby. I went deeper into margin and I wasn't comfortable using any more margin to buy SpaceX at 108. But now I think I'm back down to about $1,900 owed after my covered calls got called away. Um, but at the time, SpaceX was 108. I was, I don't know, 5 figures deep in margin. So I just needed to recover a little bit. And um, I think the chances will be there. But yeah, um, I feel good. Like, I could cover 2 grand in a heartbeat, and I'm not worried about a margin call on 1,900 with a $725,000 account. So I'm good.
hey, that's another thing, bro. I remember when you started that journey, dog. That's another thing I got to give you props on. You stuck with it and really ran with it. So yeah, it's dope seeing you, dive deeper into that and continue to grow your account with the options and stuff. So yeah, that's dope, bro. Because like I said, I remember when you started that journey. So I like seeing that consistency and growth, bro. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I see dissecting had his hand up. Go ahead, bro. Unless it's a glitching, I don't want to be looking like John taking everybody's hands up.
Oh, I have a question. It's for Mac specifically. So, regarding Joby, so I just want to get my facts right. So, are they going to have service in the Dallas Fort Worth area first and then the UAE, or is it the other way around?
They're going to be operating under the EIPP, which is kind of the government like experimental thing. So they're just going to be doing demos, non-paying customers, probably like executives. They said sometime in September, starting in Texas. So it'll probably be before the UAE or Dubai, just because of the Middle East conflict, right? I mean, let's just be honest. If something happened due to the conflict, that'd be a PR nightmare. And that's what Joe Ben and the executive leadership team said, is that the Middle East still remains a high priority. But they just need to make sure that it's a little bit more secure. And I think an example of that is they've built 3 vertiports in Dubai and the UAE. So there's a significant investment coming from not only their government, but their investors. So I do think it happens. It was supposed to happen in April. Um, but honestly, I mean, it's the same thing for Archer. Archer was supposed to be doing some stuff over there. They pulled back due to the conflict. Who knows how long the conflict lasts? So I do think they're expanding a little bit more into the US, but they can't do paid customers in the United States until the FAA fully clears everything. And as we all know, government is government. They're moving fast, but they're not moving as fast as they could be. Um, so it's kind of a little bit up in the air. But yeah, Dallas. They bought a building there. They're establishing a hub. It may just be for cargo and kind of some more demo experimental flights. But I think that's a big move. Not to sell anybody, because what it does is it broadens their network. They have to install the charging network there, the Geeks network, and then I think they're going to start flying to other like airports and kind of testing the system, right? And for people listening that don't know, they're eVTOL, electric vertical takeoff and landing, similar to a helicopter but electric. They're partnered with Delta, and everybody thinks that they're trying to replace airlines, and they're actually not. They're like the last mile, like between a regional airport and a bigger airport. So the expansion into Dallas Fort Worth could involve DFW. It could involve Dallas Love, but they will definitely be flying over Texas. Like, I mean, in California, I know Dissect has seen it. They did the little tour from Santa Cruz to San Francisco, and then around the Golden Gate Bridge into Oakland, and landed, and then the next day took off and went back. So I think it's a big move. They also signed a through the fence agreement at Hollister Airport. So they have a facility in Santa Cruz, Hollister, Marina, San Carlos, and they hinted that they would be using the Hollister location to do similar to what they're doing in Dallas, where they're going to be flying demo flights, non-paying customers, and just start to test timing, battery capacity, the ASI new FAA network that they're also partnered with. So that's a big move. The new FAA flight system upgrade is through a company they're partnered with. Um, and then their partnership with Uber, once I believe, again, not financial advice, once they get cleared to go, you will be able to order an Uber that will bring you directly to a Joby, that will bring you directly to an airport. Um, and I think and then I'll land my plane. Not pardon the pun. Um, I think another misconception is between Joby and Archer is that they're going for the same customers, and they're kind of not, if I'm honest. Joby is going for more of the executive elites initially. The people that can spend a little bit more to skip traffic. And I again think that's why they're focused on the Dallas area, is you can get a lot of like really big executives that don't want to sit in the Dallas metro traffic, that might fly at 4 or 5,000 feet and take a 7-8 minute flight versus 45 minutes in traffic. So I think the rollout might be a little slower than planned, but they're definitely moving forward for sure.
Hey, man, y'all remember that show, Undercover Boss, where like the executive would go into the company and pretend that he was a worker? And man, I'm telling you, I bet Mr. Mac I'm looking at him like he an undercover boss for Joby, man. You're the amount of knowledge and stuff you got, dog. I'm starting to wonder, like, come on, man, just tell us, dog. No.
I don't work for Joby, but I've said it before. I did help permit their facility in Marina. So I've known about them since 2017. Yeah, my knowledge is pretty deep, but that's because in my job I did help them get going. So I am a little biased. I won't lie.
Hey, that's what I'd say if I was undercover boss. No, no, I respect it, dog. Hey, you're very knowledgeable, bro. I love it, man. Um, hey, dissecting. I see you got your hand back up. Yeah, you probably have some more questions for Mister Mac.
Yeah. So I guess with that, another question is, when do you see them start generating revenue for their flights?
Directly from Joby or just as a company?
Directly from Joby. Because I know they already make revenue through Blade Mobility, but that's like a separate business.
Yeah, yeah. And then they make a little bit of revenue through the partnership with Uber. Um, Man, that's such a tough question because there's so many factors involved. And if I was an undercover boss, I wouldn't answer it. Um, um, Honestly, I think it hinges on the Middle East, right? I do think they roll out service first in the Middle East, unless that conflict drags on for another year. Um, but man, that's hard to say, dissect, because it hinges so hard on the FAA giving them their final step 5 type certification clearance. Um, and just that's an unknown. I mean, I think on their last shareholders report that came out last week, they said they're like 43 or 53% of the way through it. A couple more flight testing requirements, but I know that they're training pilots. Um, to be conservative, I'd say it's probably another year, if not a little bit longer in the U.S. Um, but if the Middle East conflict can wrap up, I think they'll roll that out in 90 to 120 days after that. Um, and then they're moving forward with their partnership with Virgin in the UK, but I still think that's about a year and a half, 2 years out, also, just because of certification issues with their British FAA government departments.
Undercover boss. That was a lot, man. I love it though. um, John, did you still want to go back to the ETFs you was talking about?
Yeah, but let's go to Matt. Matt's on stage. What is up, Matt? How's your Sunday? How was your weekend, my friend?
What's up, guys? Weekend was good. Sunday was good. However, I'm glad you're okay, John. I'm glad you're feeling better. I had my popcorn ready Saturday night. I was ready to go, waiting on the Saturday night space, and John was a no-show. And I was like, man, I'm gonna miss the Saturday night space. I'm glad you're doing better. Glad you're feeling better, John. Appreciate you.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that, Matt. I do. Yeah. It was just weird. I felt better Friday because, I went on parabolic space and talked on Friday for a little bit, with the options talk. And then, Friday night, it sort of hit me again. Man, it's just that stomach bug, and I'm never sick. And I mean, I was sick for a week. And that is no fun where you're sick and you can't sleep. So, yeah, I'm better now. I'm better now. My mom brought over some food, some ice cream, some cake yesterday, and that really lifted my spirits up. So that was good. That's what I needed. So, yeah, I appreciate that. We'll be back in action on Tuesday. So I'm pumped up because I've never, and I was thinking about it, I even went back. I've only missed one other day since I started hosting my spaces, and that was over a year ago. I've only missed one day. So I've missed 2 days in a row. So I've missed 3 days is all I've missed hosting my spaces. So it doesn't happen very often. And I know a lot of people like you really enjoy it. And I do too. I love getting on spaces and talking to everybody and all my friends. So yeah, I definitely missed the interaction with everybody. So digital, let's talk some. You got anything else, Mr. Matt? Any moves you're making this week? What's on your radar, sir?
Well, real quick, I was just going to tell you. Well, number one, I sold another put on DRAM, and probably will try to sell some more covered calls. I've been just trading that thing and getting some premium off of it. It does pretty good. But I want to give you a ticker, ETF ticker, right quick. CIBR. CIBR. Do you have it?
Hold on, let me type it into my. I've got so many screens. Hold on, CIBR. Let me see what this is. CIBR. What's weird is usually when I have a ticker, I could think about it and I'll know what it is, but that doesn't ring any bells. First Trust NASDAQ Cybersecurity ETF. Now I know what it is. I remember that thing. Come on now. Let's see what's up with this thing.
That thing is skyrocketing.
Let's
It's been
see. Go ahead.
no, I don't own it, but I'm fixing to. I hope it pulls back a little bit so I can get in, but I don't know if it will or not. I think cybersecurity is going to be a big play coming up. Probably already is. I hope I missed the train, but uh, that bug and hack are two other ones. But if you want to do long term investing, CIBR I think is the better choice in my opinion. Uh, I think bug it's got a little bit more volatility. So if if you want to do a short term swing or something, that would probably be a good one to get in. But I've been looking at cybersecurity. I think it holds CrowdStrike, other pretty good companies in the basket. So you can look at the top 10 holdings and see some pretty big names in there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Spot on. Spot on. Yeah. I don't remember when I looked at these last because I remember I did a breakdown and looked through them and compared them. But yeah, it's one of those themes and one of those thematic themes. But like you said, they have some solid companies in there, the top 10. But yeah, I'm looking at the charts. They've been crushing it. They've been outpacing the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq on the yearly chart. But like I said, I've said this before about these thematic ETFs. You got to be careful. You got to be careful and not get FOMO because you're like, man, this thing's been ripping. This like SMH. Man, this thing's been ripping. No, wrong. Then you buy in, then it takes a drop of 15% in a week. Then you're like, oh man, I should have waited. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying just be careful with these high beta ETFs like this because it's ran up, like you said, really good over the last 6 months. It's up 43%. And really, most of that is in the last 3 months. So it's been crushing it. I wonder if I need to look under the hood. It's been a while. But yeah, interesting play on that, Matt. Go ahead. I think you have your hand up again.
No, I was just going to add that. Yeah, I mean, I wish it. If it pulls back, I'm gonna get in. But I haven't got in yet. I think I'm gonna wait a little bit. But with cybersecurity, I mean, with the hacking and everything, I mean, I think these AI companies and other companies too. It's just going to be a big long term play. I believe. I mean, everybody's going. It's going to cost people if they don't have some type of security. If they get hacked and everything, and I think some of these hackers are using AI to do their hacking. So uh, I think it's going to be something good as far as get into.
Yes, sir, and I agree with you. It's a sector that's not a segment that's not going anywhere, right? Because cloud computing, all that, we're going to need more cybersecurity for all of that. So those companies are definitely on the rise. So definitely put that on your watch list. Thank you, Mr. Matt, for bringing that up. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me talk about the moves I'm making. I'm surprised we're still going because of how digital's phone has glitched up. All right, for me, and y'all, this is in my income portfolio, okay? I don't mess with this, all right? I don't mess with anything in this my income portfolio. But when I do, it's something important. So, I've held Neo's Russell 2000 high income ETF IWM for over 2 years. And I had a small position in that, as a satellite position, to have an allocation to small caps. Well, I've been doing some research and dissecting. I don't know if I told you this or not. OVL, the overlay shares large cap equity ETF, that's starting to get a lot of popularity, and it should for what it's doing. They have another fund called, the ticker is OVS. That is Overlays Share Small Cap Equity ETF. And it's ran the same way. They sell puts on their shares and they hold the Russell 2000. So There's no capped upside. There is some capped because they have to run the options, but there is a lot more participation in the upside. So just on the year to date for the Russell 2000 that I own, ran by Neos, and it's been a great fund. Year to date, it's up 9.16%, 9.16% in core growth, and it gives out a 14% distribution. Let me look at the year. Start all over. Look at the 1 year chart. IWM is up 15.70% in 1 year, and also has thrown off 14% in dividend. That's very happy. I'm happy with that. Good stuff. OVS is up 28.66%. So almost double the core growth. Double the core growth. So I always imagine having $100,000 in this. So if you have $100,000 with the Neos, you would have almost $116,000, right? If you had 100,000 OVS, you would have $129,000 practically. That's a big deal in just 1 year. And over 5 or 10 years, that is going to make a big deal when it comes to compounding. Now, OVS pays a 10.5% distribution yield, so it is lower. I am losing yield, and I understand that, but I'm going to have a lot more capital appreciation. And that's what you want, especially if you're using these funds in retirement, where some people don't realize that. They're like, oh, this thing throws out 18, 19%. You have to have core growth. That is the thing in retirement, because when we have these downturns, we have these pullbacks, you want your ETF to get back to where it was and keep growing. I'm not going to mention any names, but a lot of stuff's getting pushed now that I would never buy or never tell anybody to buy in a retirement account. OVS, that's their small cap one. I'll be switching over to that next week, or actually this week. The other one, and this is going to shock everybody. Everybody sit down. I've had GPIX, the Goldman Sachs S&P 500 income ETF, since inception, because I saw an interview with the portfolio manager before it even came out, and I was blown away about the fund. So I've been a long-term holder for that. It's done fantastic. I'm up almost 45% in my income account with it. And in my credit card account, I'm up almost over 40% in core growth. I'm going to sell those shares, half of them this week, and I'm going to put half of them in OVL, the Overlay Shares Large Cap Equity ETF. It almost keeps up with the S&P 500 in NAV appreciation, and it throws out a 10.5 distribution. Same thing. They're not selling cover calls. They're selling puts that make their premium every month. So I'm actually doing those moves this week. I'm going to do some moves, some big moves that I never do very often in my income account, but I've been doing my homework over the last few months. And yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I've done all the math. So, Dividend Ken's like, hold on a second. What's going on? What? So I'm excited, and right from the get go, I'll be making more money. Even though I'm taking a little smaller, I'll be making a little bit less with my Russell 2000, but that's okay because it's a smaller allocation. But I am going to keep 50% of my GPIX. I'm not selling all of it. I'm just selling half of it and then putting half of it into this other fund and letting it run for a while because I really like GPIX. I like the product.